Hello, this is Adrian Gold. We are at chapter 3 of The Kings Have Won. Story now moves to the Battle of Waterloo. And now the next 4 stories that we will read and will cover are about the Rothschild and their the commitment to becoming the new king, as I became the king. And really the banker became the king. There was only one issue, and we'll see it in the 4th story with the Rothschild, is they learned to be the king in the shadow. But that's for another story. Right now we are on the battlefield of Waterloo. Battlefield of Waterloo, why is that? Why would I go into such a story about American banking? Now it's 1815, Hamilton is dead. The war of 1812 is, really subdued, where they come to an agreement. The implementation of the Second Bank of the United States is just about to take place, but it's been agreed upon, so it has satisfied the Rothschild. Why would it be important? Well, I wanted, and again, I get information and I just like, whoa. So I collected all this information into one group, the Rothschild in this case, and this is what I learned, that they had 5 centers. So they had Paris, London, Frankfurt, Vienna, and Italy with the Vatican. So these 5 powerful financial centers that they manage. I discovered they had a coat of arms with 5 arrows. And I wanted to begin the story with, again, duality. Our main character is a French cook, Caillou. I wanted the duality, a young man who's really a nice young man, but he's a monster. He looks like a monster. And then we have this group of messengers from the Rothschild that are sent into, and that's a legend, so I'm not sure if it's true, but I thought it was such a great story that I decided, no, I have to have that in my story. And apparently there was a gentleman on the battlefield of Waterloo named Rothworth or Rawworth or whatever his name was, and he was there to observe the battle, to see what was going on. So I attached to this messenger 2 bodyguards. One, a 7-foot-1 giant, a Norman, a beast of a man. Very nice until you mess with him. Wordsworth and Gustafsson, the giant, and the last one is Germain de Montieu. Really handsome, very polite, very kind, until you mess with him, and then he'll just kill you. These are not people you mess with. They're very smart people. You don't mess with them. They're very, 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 very good soldiers. They're on the battlefield of Waterloo and observing, and of course they've passed to see the Duke of Wellington. At the same time, there was a Congress of Vienna where he was and left to direct and to be in charge of the coalition army and the Battle of Waterloo. They wanted to be done with Napoleon. They were sick of him pillaging, and they could no longer deal with it. The story begins when Caillou watches the 3 messengers during the night after a storm. The storm is actually real. The event of the battle, I would say, are 90% true. If I made a mistake, I hope the expert will forgive me. And so I took the information and relayed them as the best I could. For the Battle of Waterloo, so 2 o'clock in the morning, the Duke of Wellington wakes up, starts sending letter. First one to his girlfriend in Brussels. Rothworth and his group are informed that they better get out of here. They want to stay to figure out, because the key was information. The first story of the Rothschild is about knowledge. If you have the knowledge, you have power, and then we'll see on the next story. Caillou says, hey, listen, I know this spot where you can actually observe the battle, and it's pretty safe, and it's actually give you a really good view. They go, yes, great, and they go there and observe the battle. I retell the battle. Then we go on, and I don't want to give you all the event in case you didn't read the story yet, but the messenger decide we know the answer to who won the battle, and they get out of there as quickly as possible. They have, a network of, horses waiting for them, a boat waiting for them to go back to London. There were people after a war that would go on the battlefield and pull the teeth of the dead. I just learned that at the last minute and decided I have to include it. This is unbelievable that, this is 1815 and you have scavenger pulling at teeth of the deceased and, collecting them for money. And I thought, this is insane. And so this story, I think, is all, again, about duality, the monster and the good man, the gentle character that we fall in love. I mean, I had a friend who was like, oh my gosh, I love this character. What happened? What did you do? I'm like, this is a short story. There's a couple stories where we have characters mixing, but that's about it. There is no one thread. It's just individual stories that I share. And so this one starts on the battlefield of Waterloo. I love that story. The character Caillou was so dear to me. As I wrote the story, it was kind of like part of my life. So I just wanted the reality and the duality of what we have, the good and evil, the dark, the light, and through this character who, miserable life. I hope you enjoy it as much as I enjoy creating this character. In the first edition of the book, I start with this story because I think it's so powerful, but I decided to put it as a third story as we go chronologically now. So anyway, I hope you enjoy it. We go on to now the next story, which is theater and the Rothschild in London. Thank you. Any question again, go on my website, adriangold.com, and I'll talk to you soon. Bye.